Have you ever dreamt of taking music lessons? It's never too late. Hi, I'm Cora Naylor, certified coactive coach and emotion code practitioner. Now that you're an empty nester, you have time to find new activities, especially for you. And I know one of the things I've always had in the back of my mind is to learn to play the piano. So, to talk to us about the piano, harp, or voice lessons and your purpose, finding your purpose, I've invited Simber Quinn to join us today. Simber is thriving in the middle of her second career as a musician and music teacher. She grew up in a musical family. At age 42, Simber found herself at a crossroads: either continue to work in corporate and deal with illness, or find a new life and new health and wellness. In choosing the latter, she's journeyed into parts of herself that she left behind, finding new life in the adult version of her childhood dreams. Today, Simber is a master teacher of harp and piano and a level 3 practitioner of somatic voice work. She's also trained in heart-based singing and sound healing toning circles. So welcome, Simber.
Thank you, Cora. Thanks for having me here. I'm so excited.
Yeah. And I know, especially playing the harp, it's a little bit of a different thing. We don't hear a lot about that. So it's nice to give people options of things they maybe never even heard of before.
Right? Yeah. I love to work with people who read music, who don't read music. It's usually they come to me and they say, I always wanted to. I had this secret dream. A lot of my students are older and they're at the crossroads where your viewers are. Their kids are grown and it's time to do something else. And maybe it's not new, or maybe it's new-ish, or maybe it's that dream that you had from childhood that just got set aside because you needed to go do other things for a while, which is what happened to me. So I was away from music for 27 years. As you kindly read in my intro, I had illnesses when I was working in corporate. Even though I loved the corporate environment, my body did not. And so this is a second career for me, to play harp, to sing, and to teach, to share this with other people.
Nice. And I know we were just talking a few minutes about, finding our purpose. And I think for you, music was your purpose. Maybe you could share a little bit about how that journey for you.
Sure, sure. So when I was sick and it was becoming evident that I was not going to go back to corporate, I really didn't know what I was going to do next. And that was a really uncomfortable place because I spent most of my life knowing I'm going to go here to the cubicle, I've got a meeting, I've got So here I am facing like the great unknown. And so I was working with a Reiki master and energy healer who said, you need to go out and look in the world for the thing that you left behind when you were a child. And I didn't know what that was. I mean, now looking, you can see, it's music. That's very, in a very big way. But I didn't know, because when I had signed off from music 27 years earlier, I really thought I was never going back. So when I talk with people about finding their purpose, I say, I'll tell you what I did, which was I walked around with an open heart and kind of a Dr. Seuss attitude of, are you my purpose? Are you my purpose? Are you my purpose? Are you my purpose? And I've told that story a number of times, but as I was thinking about talking with you, Cora, I was thinking, if you get into that Dr. Seuss place, which is the story I'm referring to is Are You My Mother? It's about a little duck. And but then it put me in this child place that was pretty safe. I'm in a Dr. Seuss book. I'm walking around in my life like it's a Dr. Seuss book. So 2 or 3 months goes by, and I'd look at this and I go, kinda, and I'd look at that, and maybe, everything felt like definitely not. I'm not going to be a lawyer. Some things were meh, like I could do it if I could force myself to do it. That's not your purpose. If you feel like I could do it, maybe I can make it work, that's not your purpose. So then it was around Christmas, and I opened up a catalog, holiday catalog, and there was a picture of a harp. And when I saw that, I had this electric memory.
Oh, wow.
Which I don't know if we have the whole time to go into the whole memory, but I remember being a kid, seeing a harpist, and knowing at that moment when I was 6 years old that I wanted to do this. And then life happened. And I do write about it on my blog, what all happened between age, when I left music at age 15 and when I joined back up with music again in 42. but it revolved around this memory when I was 6, and I knew it like if you put your hand on the hood of a running car, you can feel the vibration and you know that engine is running. It was like that. It was so like, "Oh, I forgot all about that." Now, other people's purpose might not have an element of forgetting. They might have known all along and really wanted to get back to it, but for me, there was an element of forgetting. And so once I had that feeling of like, "Ah, yes," then I had to get into action and, make it happen in the real world. And, that's a whole different story, but
Yeah,
this is where I am
really
now
great start. I
13 years later. Yeah, 13.
Yeah. I think often with purpose, it is going back to what are the things like, how did you play as a kid for a lot of people?
Yeah.
And I also like if people don't know what to do is that, Sonda Rhimes that wrote Grey's Anatomy, she wrote a book called The Year of Yes. So just say yes to everything for a year and, be open to things because you don't know where it's going to come from. So what are some advice that you could give empty nesters who want to start up with music or maybe get back to music?
Yeah, so I would say, if you played an instrument before, see if you'd like to take that up again. If not, I recommend piano because they're so easy to get, and there's lots of piano teachers out there. And then, but also voice. I mean, maybe your music has been, like literally shut down, so you haven't been able to even voice this. And that was true for me. I started out playing harp, and I have done, and I still do lots of that. But a couple of years ago, I seriously started studying voice, and found some freedom in my purpose because I have a stronger voice. Like literally, the muscles are stronger. So the advice is find something you like and try it. I mean, just like you're saying, Cora, say yes. Say yes and try it. And you don't have to like it forever, just say yes and say, okay, that no. Yes, then no, not just
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. At least give it a try, then you'll know. Or maybe one thing will lead to something else, which
Mhm,
you never know.
mhm. I,
Yeah.
um, I love working with my students to uncover their true voice and then help them sing country or jazz or opera or whatever it is. But if finding what your voice is like having your own thumbprint in your voice.
Mhm.
And for women, that's especially important because as empty nesters, you've spent your great deal of your life being the voice of your family, speaking for your children, possibly speaking for your spouse in certain situations. And who speaks for you? Well, not so much. I mean, that's just the way it's structured. So your own voice might be a mystery, and it might be something worth looking into. And I do somatic voice work, which is based in the body. And so if you go to the Somatic Voice Work website, there's lots of teachers. There may be somebody close to you. I work online exclusively right now with the virus, so I can work with anybody anywhere.
So that's what, yeah, thank goodness for technology. So this COVID thing's been working for you then.
It has been. I've been teaching online. I'd already been teaching online for 4 years because I have students all over the country. But now, people are at home and they're like, I need something to do, or I have the time now to pursue this uninterrupted time. So my studio has been, filling with people like surprises, like you were just talking about, being open to like, what could the gifts of COVID be for me and my students? And we're experimenting more and more with real-time technology so that there won't be a lag. So we can sing together, we can play together. That's one of the tech challenges in online lessons right now, but I'm really close to solving that.
So this voice lessons, the somatic stuff that you do, like, do people actually have to sing? Like a lot of us are not singers. So I'm just curious if that's for anybody.
So everybody can benefit from it, but I also work with professional speakers. Your voice has got to be strong to carry your message and to be heard. But it's making sound.
Okay.
The work that I do work with singers and we do work on songs, but that's a very small part of what I do. What I'm really listening for is your voice balanced? Now it could be a little technical in the voice area, but we have a speaking voice that's down here, and then we have a voice that's up here. That's our cartoony Minnie Mouse voice. And we don't speak up here very much. Some cultures they do, but in America we don't. If that upper voice gets too weak, then you become entirely dependent on this thing, which gets lower and deeper and scratchier, and it's more pressure and more work. And it's also for women particularly, it's hard to hear you on the phone. It's hard to hear you in a Zoom call. And so what I work on is balancing the whole voice mechanism. So even if you don't sing, I'm going to ask you to hold a tone. Can you do, ooh? You know, I'm going to just say, it's not singing, we're just making sound, but we want to exercise all of the muscles in there so they're all strong. So when you need to speak, you know confidently what it's going to sound like when it comes out of your mouth.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So can you give us a little quick demo on the harp here before we wrap up?
Sure. Yes.
A lot of people have heard some harp music for a while. It's not something you hear very often.
Yeah, it's, let's see. I'm going to change microphones because the harp doesn't pick up very well on this one. Hang on one second. And I'm going to play you something from Hawaii.
Okay.
Because I was there for 15 years. The last queen of Hawaii was a very musical person. She wrote Aloha Oi. And what I'm going to play for you, just a little bit here. So, okay. Oh my goodness. Sorry. And I was practicing something else.
Okay.
I recall, I'm so sorry. Like, what? Oh my goodness. Okay, you just witnessed something almost nobody ever gets to see. I just broke a string.
Oh, wow.
So, okay, let me think about this for a second. I'll play you something else.
Okay.
Yeah, wowie.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm so happy we had you on here today, Cimber. And if anybody wants any more information about harp lessons, piano lessons, or more about the voice lessons, be sure to get in touch with Cimber. Her website is running along the bottom of the video here. And I think if people want some more information about the harp in particular, if they go to your website, you've got something you can give them there.
Yeah, I do. If you're interested in the harp, I have a 6-part Learn to Play Harp series that you just sign up and it's delivered to you through your email. And if you just want to listen, then you can go to my performance website, which is cimber.com, and sign up for my newsletter, and I'll send you some music. And I just want to say the first lesson's always free for anything.
Oh, awesome. That's right. So you can always give it a shot. Try it
Oh,
out.
yes, say yes.
Say yes, exactly. Awesome. And if anybody's watching that's an empty nester, if you want to join my empty nester Facebook group, just comment below with a yes and we'll get you added in. There you'll get support from other women that are empty nesters and learn more about upcoming interviews that we've got. So again, thank you so much for joining us today, Cimber, and we'll see everybody next time.